Have you ever sat back and just thought, there's got to be more to life than what I'm experiencing? Well, if this is you and you've ever asked yourself that question, that is what today's episode is going to be about. So sit back, grab your coffee and your journal, and let's rock it out. Welcome to Life Mastery for Women. I'm your host, Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Join me here 3 times a week for empowering conversations, powerful tools, and techniques to help you experience more joy, healing, and deeper connections in your life. Get ready, ladies. It's time to get that nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. Life is hard, but your personal growth doesn't have to be. Hey ladies, it's Jen Mack, Lady of the Mind. Welcome to today's episode where I hope I am finding you experiencing more to life. If you're not experiencing more to life, then it is my intention that in today's episode, I give you just one nugget of inspiration towards your transformation. So today, we're going to talk about a quote that was stuck in my mind a long time ago. I was probably 12 years old. And if you've listened to my episodes, you've heard me talk about my famous speech practicing shed that I had as a kid. And I would stand out on this. It was a garage, but it was a flat top, so we called it a shed. Anyway, and I would stand up there and I would pace and I would talk about my day and all the troubles that a young teenager was having and talk about situational stuff. And I remember a couple of different times, a couple of different like quotes that stuck in my mind. And one of them was, there's got to be a better way. And the other is, this can't be all there is. Like, this life here in this moment with these physical things and these people that are currently in your life, this can't be all there is. And as I dove into this new frame of thought, which was hard to do back then, we're talking, the early 80s, but which was one of the best eras, in my opinion. Music, maybe not clothes, maybe not hair, definitely music. But anyway, is really thinking about life. Now, I know this is going to be a little bit deep, but I want it to be sort of fun. There is more to life than what we think. There is more to life and living than just your environment and the current people in your life and the current problems and scenarios that you're trying to overcome and probably have been trying to overcome for years now. There is more. And there's a depth within you that is waiting to be tapped into, that is waiting to be unlocked. And the way that we unlock it is introspection. It's about going inward. And I hope that you're not tired of me saying that word. It is, I should say it's one of my favorite words, because every time there's a problem, no matter what the problem is, it is not outside of you. The outside that seems to be the problem is the result of the inside that created the problem. So it's the inside energy that created this problem that you're experiencing outside of you, believe it or not. And collectively, we create problems, okay? And I think that if we could teach the world, if I could help teach the world how to go inward and how to become best friends with the inner version of you, your life is going to shift drastically, dramatically to all the possibilities of what lies ahead of you. And once you can start shifting and getting inward, I know that as your life changes, you're going to build the confidence to just continue going inward, getting deeper. It's like picture, okay, do this. Your very first date, okay? Someone that you just, whether it's a date, like an intimate level, or let's say it's a new friend, and you just sometimes you just can't get enough of this person. You just want to really dive in and get to know them, and you ask all these questions, and you stay up late talking or texting, and you just are all over this person in that way that is just bring in this information. I just want to get to know this person to the depths of their soul. I don't know if you've ever met anybody like that, but that is totally me. For one, I don't like short, meaningless conversation. I really like to go deep quickly. And so if I'm going to spend any amount of time with you, it is going to be a very deep conversation very fast. So, but my point to that is I want you to get to that place where you are doing that with yourself, that you are going inward and you are contemplating ideas and possibilities, and you're contemplating the possibilities of what your life could look like, what your life could be. And when we when we can get to that space and we start to uncover the depths within ourselves, we start building this confidence and this self-esteem and this inner power to start really shifting our world. Now, the unconscious mind is your body. So as you think things, like let's say when you're starting to drive, you have to think about everything that you need to do to start to drive. The blinkers, the gas, the brake, the windows, the mirrors, the heat, looking in the rear view mirror and all the traffic and the stop signs and all the stuff. And then eventually you just start to drive. Well, what happens is as you're thinking about driving and everything is you're like very aware of everything around you, that takes a lot of mental energy. And as you're exerting this mental energy, the subconscious mind goes, you know what? Hey, I'll take it over. Once you do it enough, once you drive and practice enough, the subconscious mind goes, hey, you know what? This is taking a lot of energy from you, so I'll go ahead and take it over. That's when it gets down into the body. Have you ever not remembered somebody's phone number or a combination lock, and you go, just give me the lock, and you just go, whoop, 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 and there it is, and you open the lock, and you don't even remember the numbers? That is when the body has learned the thing that you have programmed it. Well, that is about every single belief that is programmed in our subconscious mind. So when you are wanting to unleash the power, you have to get to the subconscious mind, because that is where real change is going to happen. When we are setting intentions and we're using our mental energy, and we do it once, we do it twice, maybe we sit down, we do one meditation and we say, I want more money, I want a bigger house, I want a better boyfriend, I want, nicer kids, I want a better job. And you don't feel it in your body. All you're doing is repeating words. And it has no power, has no mental capacity, none whatsoever. And when you can start to get it into the body, when you can get it from your mind, the mental energy, and push it down into the body where you can feel it, that is communicating with your subconscious mind. There's a very, very, very good and fun and funny book. It's called The Ant and the Elephant. I've mentioned it several times in my episodes. The Ant and the Elephant is a really fun book to really explain. Now, it's kind of a parable, and it kind of works on like a kid's version. But it's a fantastic analogy of how to communicate. Now, I don't always like all the tools that are in. Like, I have found more powerful tools than what they suggest in the book. But the idea is quite amazing. It is quite amazing. And it really gives you an idea of how the conscious mind and the subconscious mind work together, how you can get them to work together, and the power behind each one, like the job behind each one. We're talking about an ant versus an elephant. Okay. So here's one of the parts of the analogy that I found to be so incredibly powerful. So if the elephant is walking north and this tiny little ant is on his back, and the ant is walking south, which direction are you really walking? I'll give you a moment. You're really walking north. The elephant is walking north. The ant is walking south. What direction are you really walking in? Now, that depicts to me you setting an intention for the day, just using your mental energy. The ant wakes up and says, you know what? I'm going to walk someplace where it's warm, and so I'm going to head south. But you don't get it into the body. You don't communicate it to the elephant. And the elephant continues walking north. Have you ever tried to lose weight and you're like, okay, I'm going to lose weight today. I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to drink water. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to get it done. And I'm going to lose weight. And by my sister's wedding, I'm going to have lost 20 pounds. And then guess what? You go and lay on the couch. You don't work out. You don't make the decision. You don't eat better. Your sister's wedding comes, and not only did you not lose the 20 pounds, but you gained 5 pounds. That is because the ant made the decision and didn't communicate it to the elephant. Now go back and do the other. Have you ever made a decision and you just did it? You just made the decision and it got in there and you're like, holy crap, like I've accomplished said goal and it's only been like 7 days. Like, holy moly, that was easy. When it becomes easy, that you've accomplished getting it into the body. Now, when I say there's got to be a better way, this, my friend, is the better way. There is one thing that I think in the world that we should become an expert at. I'm not kidding. One thing. Everything else is a skill. This one thing that can change your life, make your life 10,000 times better, is learning and getting really, really good at getting your mind, whatever those ideas are, to communicate to your body. Because if you're a driver, think about how easy it is to drive from here to work or here to the grocery store or here to the park. It's no big deal. You can give directions, you can get in your car, and then you can do 97 other things, and you can go from here to there with no problems. You just get in the car and go, right? You don't even have to think about it, and it's easy. That's exactly the power that I'm talking about. And when you can get really, really good at this one thing, you guys, you can create anything you want. You can manifest anything. You can lose the weight, get the guy, make the money, get the career, go on the travels, eliminate debt. You can have fun, have joy, everything. You can do anything. When you get the power of the elephant on board, you have to download it. It's like you go to the store. Now, this could be dating myself a little bit. But you go to the store, you get some CDs, and you want to put them on your phone. So you have to install them onto the computer. And you get a disk drive, because nobody has disk drives on their computers anymore. And you install the CD onto your laptop. Okay, so here's the idea. You're installing the CD onto your laptop, and then now you have to plug in your phone, and then you go to the Windows Media Player, and then you pull that music and you put it on your phone, okay? If you skip any one of those steps, you're not going to enjoy the music on your phone because you skipped a step, whether you didn't go to the library or whether you didn't install it onto the laptop or whether you didn't plug in your phone, whatever the step is. That's no different to all the goals that you try to set and you don't complete one of the steps. You either don't decide on the goal and you continue to complain about your life. You don't clarify the goal, and then you don't install the goal into the body. So if you skip any one of these steps, you're not going to get it. So if I was in front of an audience, I'd say, okay, everybody, raise your hand if anybody in here has a goal. And raise your hand if you have been working on that goal for like 1,000 years. And now, raise your hand if you know that meditation is going to help you achieve that goal. And it's like 100%. Everybody has a goal. Everybody has something they've been working on for 1,000 years. And everybody knows that meditation will help them reach their goal. But yet, only like 10% of the world meditates. I don't really know what the thing is, but I talk about meditation with people and friends, and they're like, oh yeah, no, I don't have a meditation practice. And I go, okay, what's the problem? They go, I can't focus. I can't sit still. I fall asleep. I don't know how, and I don't have time. And I go, okay, listen, if you know that the power of meditation could change your life forever, improve your life, give you power, attract anything you want, and you say you don't have time, and you've been working on it for 1,000 years, then dude, you have to find the time and you have to become proficient at this. Because I don't know about you, but I am definitely a person where I'm just like, I am not interested in living a life of boredom or contentment or mediocrity or annoyance or anger or pessimism. I am not interested in that. I want to live an amazing life. I want to live a life without regrets. I want to live a life where I have accomplished as many goals as I have put on my plate. And I put a lot of goals on my plate. But I want to live a life that is full. And I want to live a life that I've created. I remember I grew up, my mom's side of the family is Italian. And so I grew up with a Catholic family and the church every Sunday, you know. And I remember I went to a Catholic school for 1st through 6th grade and then went to a public school, 7th through 12th grade. And religion was really difficult for me because I had 10,000 questions that nobody could answer. And so they would go, okay, well, you know what? You know, you live by God's will. You have to follow the 10 commandments and you have to, if God's intention or if God's will be done, you know? And I'm like, okay, I don't understand what that means. So explain that a little bit more to me. What does that actually mean? And they go, basically, if God wants you to have the thing, you'll have the thing. And in my mind, I'm like, that's bullshit. Like, I knew that was bullshit. I feel like what they were trying to do is to get me to cooperate, to conform to these religious beliefs. And I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't just blindly follow rules and not know the reason behind it. Like, I'm a why girl. I want to know why we do everything that we do. I want to know the reason behind, because if I know the reason behind, then I fully understand the how. And now I can just do the how. And this is what I'm talking about. Right now, I am talking about when you want to live a life that there's something better, there's something rich, there's just this vitality to your life and this excitement and this joy, then there's a way to do that. And it isn't if it's in God's will, quote unquote. That's not how life is meant to be lived. And I know, and I knew even back then as a young person, when I would hear priests and nuns all talk about that in my mind, and I never said this, but I'm like, you know what? That's a load of crap. Like, there's no way that that is real. There's no way that I'm just going to sit here and go through this life and literally hope to God that my life is grand. There's got to be a better way. And that's when I came up with that. And that's when I'm like, I became probably somewhere in my 30s where I became so wholeheartedly devoted to finding that answer. And now it is my mission and it is my purpose to share these findings with everybody in the world, with everybody who wants to change and shift their life, anybody who's ready to listen. So I have, in my pretty darn near 30 years, well, probably more 20 years or 25 years that I've been studying this. You know, I've been studying things like metaphysics and meditation, law of attraction and energy work and healing and the chakras and gosh, what else? The power of the subconscious mind, and reading some really old books because they really simplify things, is like Wallace Wattles and James Allen and Joseph Troward and Genevieve Berend, and reading some of these great authors from and Norman what's his name? Napoleon Hill, and reading all these different books, even from all these different eras, and interestingly enough. And not interesting, but interestingly enough, they all say the same thing. And that same thing that they say is get quiet, get in your mind, learn to meditate. And they say it different ways, but if you pay attention, it's all the same thing. So why wait? That's my question to you. Why wait? Why wait for trauma to change your life or dictate the direction that you change? Or the direction that you go? Why wait? My whole motto is certainly why wait, but it is certainly like, I want change and I want change fast. And so my tools and techniques that I've always been on the search for has been simple yet powerful. I want simple to use, simple to implement, simple to remember, but powerful change in a very short period of time. And I have found that. I have figured out with the help of everybody, I didn't just come up with it on my own, but with the help of a lot of authors and a lot of people, to be able to get my mind to push it down into my body. And it creates this level of excitement because no matter what I'm doing, no matter who I'm with, no matter the world I'm experiencing, I can get it down into my body and basically shit starts happening. Things start changing. Right now, I get the promotion. Right now, I get the job offer. Right now, somebody calls me and says, we'll give you $5,000 to do a keynote, a 90-minute keynote. You're going to give me $5,000 to be on stage doing what I love, talking about a subject that I'm in love with, sharing it with people that I feel like could really benefit. And you're going to give me how much for 90 minutes? Okay. And I'll tell you what, if you're not a speaker, that's a very small amount. I have a speaker friend who does like 30-minute keynotes and she gets paid like $10,000. And that's probably more of an average. But you know what? I got my own blocks to overcome, right? As we all do. And I'm going to talk about that later in a different podcast is how to befriend your negative self-talk. Dude, are you joking? You say you always want me to get rid of it. And I go, we're going to learn how to befriend it and why. I'm going to do that in the next episode. So, all right, here's a couple of steps, and I want you to write this down. Here's a couple of steps that I want you to take into consideration when you're ready to start shifting your life. One is to first decide. Everything that changes starts with a decision. Everything that changes starts with a decision. You want a better relationship. You want more money. You want a different career. You want your kids to behave. You want to feel better. You want to lose weight. You want to become more connected. You want to create a life that is magnificent. You first have to decide. Now, let me tell you a little clue about the decision. It cannot, listen carefully, it cannot be a wimpy decision. It has to be a commitment. And this commitment is to you. The commitment is to you, my friend. You make the decision for you. You make the commitment to you. This isn't a commitment to somebody else. It isn't a commitment to your kids. It isn't a commitment to the world. It is literally you wanting to make your life better. And this is a way you're going to do it. Now, in that deciding period, in that commitment, if it's a wimpy commitment, then don't, would you marry you if that was your level of commitment? And I make decisions quickly and I follow through like crazy and I get started right now. I'm very action driven. I'm very addicted to my environment. We start talking about something and I'm like, okay, let's go. And I just start doing. But that's part of my personality. That is part of my makeup, my DNA makeup is I am very on fire, very action oriented, very start things. I love to start and to create. That is part of I told you that I took the wealth dynamics test and 72% creator. I'm like, no kidding. I am. No kidding. I don't like the minute details, but I love to start projects. I love them. And for the most part, I do finish them. Maybe 13% get finished. Depends on the project. Okay, anyway, enough about me. Okay, so once you decide, make the decision and then ask yourself, go stand in front of the mirror, make the decision that says, yeah, I want to lose weight. And then go stand in front of the mirror, say it like that, as if it's as if you're proposing to somebody. And then go, yeah, I would not marry that person if that's how they answered. And then make the commitment. Decide, because it is in that energy that you elicit the help of the universe. Listen, we are little ants down in the dirt, and we can't see the breadcrumb. And the ant is, the 13-year-old kid who's above that draws a little ravine with his finger in the sand from where the ant is to where the breadcrumb is. And the ant goes, oh, it's right there. Boom. It's like a little sandy sidewalk, right? Boom. There's the ant. There's the breadcrumb. We need that human that is standing above the anthill to help us out. Otherwise, you are going to wander around in your woods, in your blades of grass forever looking for that breadcrumb. And I don't want you to do that. So if you want help with this, these are things that we do, we talk about, we engage in, we support each other in my group coaching program. And Amy and I are about to go to Miami. We are leaving Wednesday, the 10th of May, and we will be gone. We'll be back Sunday night. And we are joining Michelle Villalobos, who is someone I've been following. She's a business expert, and she's been someone I've been following for a couple of years now. And I just love her content. I love what she teaches. And we were invited to come to her business retreat. But I will tell you, I am coming home full steam ahead, beginning a group coaching program. And these are the things I'm going to be teaching. So if it's something that you're interested in, make sure that you send me an email at themeditationroomtc@gmail.com and say, hey, Jen, I'm interested in your group coaching program. And let's just set up a time to talk. And let's just see how I can best support you in this. Because you know what? I'm 20 years into this. And 20 years is a long fracking time to be studying something. And I can't say that the path has been easy. It has been inconsistent. It was difficult. It was an uphill battle. There was some giving up and then picking it back up again. But I was not consistent until this year. And this year has been amazing with the things the turn of events, the deepening of relationships, the confidence, the health that has been improving, my own physical health and the connections with my family and my leveling of my emotional state. Like I'm a big roller coaster and I hate roller coasters, but I'm a big roller coaster when it comes to emotions. But when it came to somewhere at the end of last year, 2022, and I'm studying all this stuff, so I have all the tools in front of me and I'm like, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm going to build a house because I have all the tools and I know how to use them. And I have the blueprint right in front of me, right? I have all the stuff and I go, I'm doing it. What do I have to lose? Nothing, but I have everything to gain. And every single day since then, I've been 3 or 4 times a day meditating, and my life is shifting quickly. My relationships are getting better. My life is getting better. I have a better outlook on life. I have more peace. I have more fun. I have more energy. I'm like feeling amazing in my body. My environment is amazing. And I want that same thing for you. So if it's something that you want some help with, you want some support, come to my Lady Rising group on Facebook or my Chakras for Beginners group. We have chats for both of those groups, and just write in there, hey, Jen, let's have a conversation. Send me a message, friend me on Facebook, Jen Mac, JenMac, and say, hey, you know what? I want to have a conversation with you. We'll set up a Zoom call and we'll chat. We'll just chat. There's no pressure. If you can do it, let's do it. If not, you be a part of my group, and then we'll do it in some future. But you, if this is something that you're interested in, joining my group coaching program is life-changing. Trust me. Simple yet powerful tools and techniques. Okay. Deciding the goal. So make a decision. Look at yourself in the mirror and go, would I marry this person if they decided like that? So that is a hardcore commitment. So you have to dig deep and get clarity, and then ask yourself why. Why do I want this goal? Why do I want to lose weight? Why do I want to change careers? Why do I want more money? And get all the way to the bottom of it. And then figure out, as you're getting to the bottom of it, just keep asking why. I want more money because, I don't know, I would afford me more things. Okay, and I want more things because I want to be able to give my family, some security or some experiences. Okay, and I want that because, right? Get all the way to the bottom. Keep going. Keep asking until you feel it in your body. Then get some clarity. Figure out what that emotional state is. I want my business to thrive. For one, it makes me so excited. It's fulfilling my purpose. And as I'm telling you this, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm like, I know this is my message. I know this is what I'm supposed to do. You do not have to sit idle by and let your life just go willy-nilly, whatever. And if it's in God's will, then it'll happen. That's bullshit. I am not necessarily against religion. I am against the religious message that you are not in control of your life, that some other force of nature is in control of your life. That is bullshit. Whatever line of life you have been brought into, if you're poor, you're living on food stamps, you just don't have it, you have maybe some disease, you have crappy relationships, you're in a shitty job, none of that is permanent. None of it. All of it can be changed. I promise you. I have seen it. I have experienced it. I have clients who are experiencing it right now. I have a coaching client right now who is making massive shifts. And I've been coaching him since like October. Massive shifts in his life. And it's amazing. It's amazing, the opportunities that are showing up for him. And he is not the only one. I've coached several people, and most of them women. I don't coach a lot of guys, but this is a friend of mine's son. But I'm telling you, it is amazing. So after you decide the goal and you make that commitment, figure out the why do you want the goal, pushing it down, feeling it in your body. Wait till you get the chills. If you don't get the chills, don't marry the idea. Don't marry that decision because it's not right. Keep going. So this is where we take this idea and we go just a level deeper. And I go, oh, okay, I want to be a public speaker. Okay, why do you want to be a public speaker? I don't know, because it would be fun. I don't got any chills. There's no chills there. Because when I'm on stage and I can feel the energy of everybody looking at me, and I've got words that I'm saying to them that are transforming their lives and their relationships right before my eyes. Because I'm living my purpose. That melts my heart. It gives me this fire in my belly. It gives me goosebumps. It gives me like this, holy crap, let's build this business because I want to be on stage all the freaking time. Okay? I want you to feel that way. Okay? When you have that level of commitment, that elephant is ears up and ready to go. Okay? The next is clarity of the goal. So what does the goal look like? Now, let me tell you something. You've probably heard this to some degree. Your subconscious mind does not know. It does not know. It is subjective. It does not know the difference between what you're living in the real experience, in the real 3D world, versus what you're living in your mind, which is why movies are so powerful. So we go to a scary movie. It is not really happening. We're not really in the house with the girl with the red high heels where, the axe murderer is behind the couch and we know he's there and we're trying to get her to leave the house and we're screaming, at the top of my lungs for her to go. And then she starts running. She's got stupid stiletto heels on and trips and falls and ends up getting killed. None of that is happening in the real world. We're experiencing it, but our subconscious mind is experiencing it through this visual process as we're watching the movie, and is feeling scared or feeling jumpy or feeling momentous or motivated. Okay. That's really in our favor. So if we think about that, we're going to play a mind movie to create our goal. What is it going to be like when you lose the 20 pounds and you go to your sister's wedding? What is it going to be like when you're making $10,000 a month doing what you love? What is it going to be like when you're walking down the aisle with the person that you're in love with, and the two of you are like, well, you wouldn't walk down the aisle with them because it's like your dad, but you're marrying the person that you're in love with and that is in love with you. And it is this lifelong union of friendship and love. What is that going to be like? And you find that mind movie, and you replay it and you replay it and you replay it until when? Raise your hand if you know the answer. Until you feel it in your body. When you feel it in your body, you are installing this new software into your subconscious mind. And you're asking the universe, hey, help me with this idea. I want to walk down the aisle and I want to feel this way. I want to make this money and I want to feel this way. I want to go on this trip and I want to feel this way. I want this job. I want this relationship. I want to lose 20 pounds and I want to feel this way. That's how you're communicating. Dude, this is the secret. This is the secret. Now, the last is to install it, is to install the idea, which is using this mind movie. Now, this is where meditation comes in. The secret to meditation is in that relaxed position where you are getting to a deeper conscious level of a brainwave. Where you're at right now, probably listening to this, if you're like up and around and moving, and as you're listening to this and you're getting ready for work, or you're driving somewhere, or whatever you're doing, you're probably in a beta brainwave state. And you're in a beta brainwave state, which is this high protective state, and it's high alert, a very high mental space. In this high mental space, you're not in an unconscious state that your mind, that the elephant is reaching, right? The elephant cannot hear you. So we have to get down into the slower brainwave states like alpha and theta, which is that very high relaxed state, a meditative state, a sleepy state, but you're still sort of aware of your environment and you can still control your thoughts versus your thoughts controlling you like in your dreams. If you can get to that state and you stay there, which is the practice of meditation, is you stay in that state and then you install that mind movie right there. That is where the sweet spot is. That's the practice, is being able to stay in that meditative state, install the mind movie, the date, the marriage, the career, the money, the health, the whatever, and then you replay it and you replay it. Just like you're playing just like you're watching a 2-hour movie that just makes you feel joy or makes you feel fun or excitement or adventure or love or I suppose you could do scary if you wanted to do scary, but I wouldn't want to do scary because I don't like scary movies, but I like adventure, action adventure. But this is where you can install that. And then guess what? Now the universe, ears are open and ready to help you. Now you have raised your hand to the big human that's above the anthill that says, there is where the breadcrumb is. Now, this becomes your practice. And I ask you, before I wrap this podcast up, I ask you, if you know that the power of changing your life lies in this practice, is it worth it? Would it be worth it to you? Would it be worth it to spend 10 minutes 3 times a day practicing controlling your brainwaves, controlling your thoughts, getting into that calmer state if it can start changing and shifting your life? That's my question to you. And if this is something that's interesting to you, please reach out. I gave you a couple different ways. I've got email. I've got 2 Facebook groups. Well, I've got my own personal page. You can friend me, send me a message and say, hey, Jen, listen, I'm interested in working with you. And we'll figure something out. I will figure something out in a way that I can support you. So go do the work, because it will change your life. Thanks for listening. And if you enjoyed this episode, I would love for you to like, subscribe, and leave a comment as to how this has inspired you. If you're interested in hearing about our upcoming events or working directly with me in my group coaching program to join a community of women and connect, heal, and create a life that is full of joy, inspiration, and empowerment, then reach out to me via Facebook in either of my two groups, Lady Rising or Chakras for Beginners. There, you can create a post or you can send me a direct message. Or you can email me at themeditationroomtc@gmail.com. Let's talk and see how I can best support you. In the meantime, keep going, growing, and transforming to keep looking for those nuggets of inspiration.